with the students regarding the report of academic dishonesty. And I'll tell you what I know and what I can share. There's certain things I can't as we're in the middle of an investigation. Coach Euler just joined us. So information was presented to us in the fall semester regarding uploading by coaches of student work, or presenting it as student work. What it is called, it's called metadata, which is on the back side of a student portal. So anytime you are in Microsoft Office and you have a Microsoft Word product assigned to you, which on campus we do by each individual name, that attaches itself to the document you create. So when it gets loaded into the student portal, the name appears on that. Now the person loading it doesn't see it, and the instructor doesn't see it, but our IT staffing that support this product can see it. And we have found things in there that are concerning. We have found things at times where student portals were accessed when students weren't here, but they were accessed from this campus. And so we have to investigate that, and we have to notify NJCAA that that's happening. So they're aware. In the meantime, our board chose to remove the coaches while this investigation is going on. Reason behind that is that the NJCAA doesn't have a set standard of, if you do this, this will happen to you. But there are things that may happen. And those things could be that if a coach has found to have violated or done academic fraud, that the season can be vacated. Students can be ruled or may be ruled ineligible. We can lose scholarships. We can lose the opportunity to participate in postseason. We may be put on probation. We may be fined. What we want is for your girls to be able to finish the season, to finish the conference competitively, and participate in postseason. And so we took this action in order to give them the best opportunity to do that. Because the NJCAA is going to look at us and say, what are you doing about it? So while we're doing this investigation, that was the action we chose to take. We will honor their scholarships. From a college standpoint, if a student is found to have committed academic dishonesty, they will be entitled to a hearing. They may receive change in their grade. If that happens, then the situation is done as far as the college is concerned, and we move on. The NJCAA may rule them as an ineligible student for this season, and then it's done, and then the rest of the sanctions fall on the institution. I cannot discuss with you where we're at with the coaches. That is a human resource personnel issue. I can't share that with you at this time. I can't give you individual names or scenarios other than what I've described. Once the NJCAA has reviewed the information, they will issue a ruling, and that is public information. Student names are not shared. We will not share a student's name, and to my knowledge, they will not share a student's name. They will share the outcome, but that is as far as they will go with that. It is our intent to give your students the best opportunity to play, to be seen by other schools, to promote them to other schools, and to get them to the next program they want to get to. That's what we want to do. We'd hoped to meet with your students before they left for Christmas, but a practice had been canceled, and we weren't aware of that. to where that they wouldn't be around for us to be able to meet with them. So no, we didn't like the way that we had to share the information with them, but we had to share it. So that's where we're at, and I'll open it for questions, but I don't know that, to be honest, how much I can answer.
If this monitoring system has been in place forever, that's how it sounds to me.
Okay.
Did you not get a report of the academic dishonesty until right before break? Or if this was something that happened earlier in the semester, why was it not addressed the first time it occurred or happened? Addressed with the coach or the student or what, so that if that was an incorrect practice, it could have been stopped then instead of to allow it, from the way it sounds from you, to continue to happen, and then a report out to the girls or this email that came out to them right at the end when, break occurred. I mean, it just seems like it was multiple occurrences of the issue were allowed to continue over the course of the semester instead of it being nipped in the bud the first time you found out about it.
There is no report that comes out from the system. It is on the back end. We use a company called Learning House, which is our platform for our online classes. They don't regularly cipher through it. What happened was that about mid-year, about October, a question was posed to us regarding eligibility. And so we began to try to answer the question. It was by one of our board members. So we contacted Learning House and said, can you pull this back-end data so we can see what happened?
That's about the time you all took over, right?
No, I took over in July. Dr. Dorrell came in August. I have been with Highland for 18 years. I left for 7 and then came back this year. Dr. Dorrell was not involved in any piece of this initial question, fact finding.
My question is, well, why couldn't it wait till the girls finished their season with, their tournament, instead of giving them a new coach right now?
Because the NJCA expects you to identify and submit the problem as soon as you know about it.
Well, that goes back to her question, why wasn't
Which was
it taken
October,
care of
correct?
then?
We did not have enough information in October to move forward.
But
Well,
you
it
had
don't
enough
look like you all
suspicion
have
to start
enough
to
now.
investigate in October. And
We
it
asked-
doesn't
You don't look like you all have enough
We asked the
information now.
question. Well, only because I can't reveal it to you. We asked the question, and what we got back, we felt like that's kind of gray. Can you
Dig
move forward
deeper.
this? Yeah.
Look like you all looking for something there.
Let me ask the question, because I understand what metadata is.
Mhm.
I know what it does.
Okay.
But also, every document that's created in Microsoft products
Mhm.
have a detailed section on there of who created the documents.
Mhm.
So therefore, that tells you who is the originator of the document. Whatever metadata says, the originator is on the document. And that is what you should be looking at.
Yes, sir.
The metadata only gives you a certain amount of information. The original of the document, or when the document is being created, that is part of that document. And unless you go in there and edit that and take that out of there, and most people don't even know it's there, then that does not change. You can give that document to 1,000 people. The originator is always going to be on that document. And unless somebody goes in there and purposely changes that. And again, that's something the IT person knows, but everybody else don't know.
And he's
Okay.
IT.
And that's why we asked further questions.
Okay.
That's why we went further from
Okay.
the initial data.
So then the second thing they need to look at is they need to look at the IP address that from the document.
You're
They need to
correct.
go back and look at the IP address and get the original IP address, because that's where it originates from. I don't care how many uploads you go through to different servers, the original IP address is embedded in the document also. And that's where it needs to be originated from. So
I
you
fully
can
support
pass it.
everything you're saying.
Okay,
I do. I fully support everything you're saying.
okay, so
And
then
that's
my next
why
question.
we didn't take just at face value.
Okay. My next question then is, I don't know a major school that has not been under investigation and not a single coach has been fired because an investigation is going on. they remain in their position until evaluations and investigations are completed. Then actions are taken. They do not do that on any college level. On any college level. And I'm talking from my experience of being not only a referee, but also as a coach before.
So why is
So
that
I
the
do not
case
know
in
why
this
this
situation?
action took place when it should not have taken place until investigation is completed.
That's what I wanted to say.
I understand what you're saying as far as the NJCC wanted this and wanted that. Yes, you do certain things, but again, this is a detriment to these young ladies' career. And it's the fact that you have a coach that's been with them from day one and has been working with them from day one to groom them and process them to be where they are. Now you're gonna bring somebody in halfway through the season and expect that to happen? It's not going to happen. It will not happen. And I think you're being unfair to these young ladies to move their coaches out of that position when nothing factual has been placed on the table. That is totally unfair.
But it seemed like why was the eligibility a question anyway? Like it was
Exactly.
It seemed like
Where did that
come from?
Because the
Exactly.
team GPA was 1.7 last year.
What does
There was
that
a
mean? They
question.
can improve?
No, there's a question of whether
They
they
can
were
improve
actually
without help.
eligible to compete. So when we started calculating GPA and started looking to see if they, to double check to make sure the girls were eligible, then a red flag popped up.
So they're being
So you trying to
investigated for
say-
last year and this year,
So
is what
what you
you're
got
saying.
better?
but it should,
Everything was.
But if the GPA was 1.7 last year, why did a question not come up until October? They've been here since July.
Exactly.
Well,
So why was it several months later? Like, do you understand how a lot of this isn't making any sense?
Sure.
yeah.
So you trying to say they don't have the capability to do better?
No, I'm
No.
saying when they started, based upon where they ended last year, they were not eligible to come in and start this season.
Wasn't it multiple coaches that was supposed to be,
I haven't
considered?
got back to your question, I'm sorry.
Because if it's multiple coaches, it sounds like a setup.
What?
Ain't it multiple coaches that's going through this too? Or is it just the basketball coach?
Right now, it's the 3 women's basketball.
That's it.
But the
But the
football coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
went
the
through the
football
same
coach, that's what I'm
thing.
saying. It's like somebody is sitting in this office, the football coach is going through it and everybody, it's a
No, we
setup.
did not.
So basically, y'all researching from last year, but last year people graduated and a new class came in. So you are putting them under investigation because of something someone else did.
We have to put the program, unfortunately, under investigation.
But why come it wasn't under it in
Why
July?
not until October when the question came up?
It's timing. I mean, she didn't start till June, I didn't start till September.
Yeah, it sounds
This-
like you all looking for something.
Yeah.
That's it, you
But
know.
other people were in place
Well,
prior
whether-
to her coming,
Yeah.
prior to you being a part.
Yeah.
So if it was
Yeah.
known that the team GPA, and again,
Yeah.
people
Why didn't they-
graduated,
why
like
didn't they
a
look at it?
significant portion of the girls were gone.
Yeah,
So
it's a
why
great
was that
question.
not a
Why didn't they look
conversation
at it?
then?
It was, you know, the information that we have found, I understand all of your concerns. To say that this doesn't happen at other schools and that somebody doesn't get suspended until an investigation is complete, that's not true.
That is true.
I have been-
Can you coaches coach them right now and they under investigation, major under investigation? Yeah, can you under
It's not the
investigation?
same thing. It's up to the college and how we maintain the integrity of the academics and of our athletic programs.
So that's what it
That's
is
what it
basically.
is.
So it's not the NJC, it's
No.
what you guys want
It's
to do.
self-regulation.
This is self-regulation.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it's
no, I'm
what you
saying,
want to do.
the
You guys
decision to
ultimately make
suspend the
decision.
coaches
Right.
Yes.
is
It was
coming
y'all's
from you guys
decision.
in the school.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's personal,
It's
really.
personal.
It's personal.
It's how-
it's how
So
school
by
looks.
it's personal, y'all taking it with the
There
girls
is a
too.
6-man board that is elected by this county that
Yeah,
makes
it's
that
personal.
decision.
And so
It's
in
your
turn,
personal.
y'all making the team suffer because you all have something personal.
So I have a question. If this is
Yes.
going off of last year's GPA, some of these girls have went on to other colleges. So would they be ineligible as well, or just the girls
We
that
don't know
remain here?
yet. We don't know yet.
No, they can't do anything to them girls.
Yeah.
So it's just
We
the
don't
girls
know-
here.
We don't
They're
know
gone.
yet.
So they are held accountable for the entire team that was
It's,
here?
no, not the team, it's individually how they will be.
Well, the
accountable.
overall GPA was 1.7, not
Yeah.
just one student, right?
Correct.
Okay, so the whole team.
That's what triggered the investigate. That's why we asked the question.
So only the girls that are still here will suffer for the team's
Only if
GPA.
they were involved.
How did they go a whole
So
season
that's
with a
the
1.7
case.
grade?
So that's the case.
It's a team.
That's the case. This team, majority of this team are African Americans.
The team
So
is-
majority of this team is African Americans.
But how do you go a whole season with a 1.7 GPA? I played college basketball and our GPA
No,
stayed being monitored.
that's where they ended after the course of the year. That's what was reported to the conference after.
So also during the season they had
So,
good
who
grades,
dropped
and
the
then
ball?
once the season's over there, everybody
Somebody
failed.
wasn't doing their job, they just now found it almost, 6 months later, almost a year later?
You know what?
Somebody
And,
dropped the ball,
and
right?
you know, the school district downtown, somebody dropped the ball too, as they say. And majority of them are African Americans too.
But it don't make
And
sense to go a
majority
whole
of
season with a
this
1.7.
team is African
The adults
Americans.
did. How is that fair to the kids when they're being affected by what the adults did and didn't do?
It's not.
It's unfair to
It's
everybody.
not fair to the
But-
kids.
So since it's not fair, and you agree with that, what are you guys doing for the girls?
We're trying to continue their season. We're
Trying,
trying to
no,
give them.
trying.
But it's gonna be unfair to the girls and to Coach Older though.
You guys
Because
are
they
mentally-
gonna come in, and the girls gonna be rebellious for
They're
one.
mentally-
Because they
You guys
already
are
a bit under a coach.
mentally
You bring in a coach during the half of the
destroy
season,
them.
you bring in a coach during the half of the season, he,
Mentally.
regardless of what he say, they gonna say, we doing what our coach said. It's gonna be rebellious towards him, and the reason I'm saying it, I know him because I played for him. So it's unfair to him and them girls because he gonna say his whole scheme of playing is probably different from however BJ's was. So now you're gonna tell some girls who's 12-0 to say run his play. They like, BJ didn't say run that play. We gonna get out here and run our play. So he on the sideline like, what do I do? You put him in a position and them girls in a position to say, they basically saying this is our team. We ain't listening to him. Because you can't bring no coach in after 12-0.
But at this point in the game, literally, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And they hardly have any information from you all. From the hearsay of what you guys have been talking to them about, they're none the wiser than we are about what's really going on. I understand having to keep some information under wraps, but they need some guidance. And the way this was handled, it was totally inappropriately handled.
Very unprofessional.
And the only reason
And
why I
what
have
they
a
should have
problem
went
with
to
the
the
school,
parents
with
first
the,
before you
only-
all get sent that out to
only
them
thing I have a
kids.
problem with the coaching change is, and it's no offense against him, because I know him as well. I know guys that play for him, and I know he's a good coach. But he knows nothing about
Nothing.
the
Girls.
kids. And prime example, I had a college coach call me over the break, and he was like, "Hey, I've been trying to reach out to coach about your kid, and I'm getting nothing." And that's unfair to my kid because
She's worked
he's thinking
hard.
on the
They've
other
all
end,
worked
like,
hard. That's
you know, maybe he don't want his kid here, or maybe she's not good enough to come here, so I'm just not gonna recruit this kid. So my kid is suffering behind a decision you guys made that you could have made after the season. Fire BJ after the season, but
Yes.
be fair. I mean, even if the NJC is gonna do what they want to do anyway,
And they won't have
regardless
to
of what happens to
have.
BJ or any of the other coaches, they're gonna do what they want to do regardless. But to me, to do it in the mid-season like that, it completely just ended every girl,
Everything.
especially the sophomores.
Yes.
They're done. Their
Yes.
career is done. It's nothing they can do.
You guys have.
And they can't transfer, and that's the only. And like Mr. Ogle, he's transferring because he know his kid still has a chance. His kid still has a chance, but a sophomore, if they don't have any looks right now, they're done. And I don't think that's fair. That's not fair to the girls because they came here and gave 2 years of hard work just to end up.
For BJ, let me say that.
Not even 2 years. My daughter just transferred in because BJ was here. Not because the program, whatever. It was because of BJ. So now you take BJ out the question. She transferred in. So even if she had looks from there, it's not going to get nowhere because their coach is salty. So she came here and had to start all the way over. And now she got to start all the way over after 12 wins or in the middle of the season when there's only 3 more months, which they might not even make it till the middle of March because, no offense to you, because the system is completely changed. If you had watched them from the middle of when they went to Texas all the way to Lawrence to now, it's a completely different thing because he's trained them and got them to where they're starting to have team chemistry, starting to listen to him, follow his guidance, him and the other assistant coaches. So now they got to start basically back in July with him. So it's going to take all the way to March for him to even make an impact, if he can make an impact, at least with the sophomores, because
I practiced with him last night. I wouldn't change. I mean, it's too late to change anything. You know, I mean, I might say, hey, this might work a little bit better or something like that. But I've tried to keep it as I mean, 98% of it as much as I could, because, I mean, it wouldn't do it, it'd take too long to change it. Yeah,
And,
so-
and again, no disrespect to you.
No, I understand.
but
Have you ever coached girls?
You can't,
And see, that's another problem. Girls and boys are totally differently coached.
You have to know their
Girls need
personality.
more direction. Boys, you can like go out there and give me buckets. Girls more like, hey, I need you here, here, and here, and whatever. No offense. He played for you, but no offense. But it's a different game between boys and girls. So you bring basically a coach that knows nothing about coaching girls to a team that's already 12-0, who's been groomed to be how they are. And he don't know any of the plays. He don't know how to coach defense for girls. So
He
you
don't know their
basically
personality. He don't know their
you
personality.
basically set them up to fail.
I would
Why
say
was that the
even-
ultimate decision? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just interested in why the ultimate decision, because you guys made it personally, that's been made clear. Why it was the decision to remove the coaches? Of all the things that could have
It
been done.
went to our board and we discussed, what could happen, but it goes back to, I can't share with you what I know on specific information.
What do you mean,
so-
what could happen? You discussed what could happen.
The things that you're all talking about in this room right now, how it affects the girls, how it
Do you
affects
all
their
really care?
transferring.
No, they don't care, because if they did, BJ would be still coaching them.
So I have a question. If he continued to coach, and they found him guilty or whatever, will the effects change since you moved him, or will it be
Everything
the
would be the
same?
same.
No, it-
So I'm not understanding the purpose.
That's,
What if y'all found him not guilty?
Then he
So
goes-
what would you all feel if y'all found him not guilty? What would you all feel?
Because you mentally, you have mentally
You have mentally messed him up and his
Reputation.
reputation.
Their
What if you all
Christmas
find
was
him not
destroyed,
guilty?
literally, because of an email, a heartless email. It was heartless to receive an email in writing on their Christmas break.
Yeah.
What would you all feel if y'all find him not
That's
guilty?
horrible. That is horrible. And if you were parents and you were on their end, you guys will feel the exact same way. It was heartless.
I understand, I'm empathetic to this, this was not an easy decision, but the only person that's responsible for this is BJ Smith.
Okay, so
No, but he's
could you had a
proven-
kept,
Because everything that was.
He's innocent until
We don't know
that.
proven
One
guilty.
question.
It's an
An
investigation.
investigation.
Could you
We don't
have
know if
kept-
he's guilty or not yet.
just
You already
curiosity.
made up your mind already.
Couldn't you had at least
What you talking about?
suspended BJ and kept the rest of, and
Some
kept
sort of
Zen?
continuity.
So, you know, I'm just saying
Some sort of
somebody that recognizes and identifies with the girls.
Yes.
Couldn't you at least could have had
Um,
kept Zen?
that as far as what information we do have was egregious enough that it warranted suspension right now. Okay? This was not an easy decision. We understand how this affects everybody. We are concerned with your kids. I'm very concerned with your kids. I'm very concerned whether they graduate and go on and get recruited to schools they want to go to. There was ample information in just one instance. This has not even been looked at with previous seasons. Okay? There was so much information that it was not even, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
So,
Working in college sports for 25 years.
Okay, but then
so
I
you
go
all
back
are
again.
investigating the
basically say
summer,
you're guilty.
the girls that went to summer school.
Fall
Right.
as well.
Okay, so are all the girls being investigated that went to summer school, or just 2 of them? Because you all
Everything's
saying
being
that
opened.
you're not linking the students' names, but we're hearing students' names.
Already.
Well, I am.
There's more that I can't get into, and I'm sorry about that.
So do this hurt these girls
And I'll
recruiting?
stand
No.
up here and take everything you want to throw at me.
Well,
There's
again,
things
I'm
I
gonna come
can't
back and
share.
say, I understand, your metadata is not giving you everything that is prevalent to what goes on.
You're correct.
And until that has been presented, you are falsely accusing and making accusations that are not justified.
I think their mind is already
Until
made
you
up.
get
Yeah, that's
all
That's
of
why
the
we went
information.
further.
So do you all have a lawyer to tell you, hey, well, you shouldn't go this way because you could get hit with lawsuits, or you should do it this way? Or you are just doing it based on your decision?
No, we have an attorney.
Okay.
I
Has
think
anyone apologized to the girls?
nobody.
No.
Anybody?
I just did. I'm sorry that this went down this way. Yeah, I am.
This hurts them girls recruiting though.
It does.
And
This
it's
hurts
6
all those girls
sophomores.
recruiting. Like this totally hurts. And this ain't they D1. This is junior college. It's somewhere to go after this. A lot of these girls got plans to go D1. This hurt they recruit. Like this could really hurt them. Y'all ain't thinking about that though. Like,
So what are your steps towards that?
yeah, like are y'all gonna call schools and say, hey, we got this girl here and this is her dream school. She needs
going
to.
right now. How are you guys gonna help them go to the next level?
We're still gonna help them do that.
I'll do
Anything
my
that we
best.
can.
I mean, I know you will,
I'll do
but
my best.
I know you will, but I'm saying they put you in a position where
I mean,
that's hard. That's way more harder work to have to call people and say, hey, I got this girl, woo woo.
But the thing is, it was 3 coaches doing it. Now it's just one. How you gonna coach some new
make it
team,
hard for you, coach.
figure some
But
plays
it's hard
out?
for him because
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
for you.
I'm sure I'm not speaking for you, but I'm sure he probably don't even have girl connection, girl coaches. connection.
It's hard, coach.
So how can he can reach out to some men coaches, but I'm sure he probably hasn't ever even talked to a woman's coach.
Well, I have, but I it'll take some work.
It's some work. It's gonna be some
Yeah,
work.
but in the
So, like,
meantime,
if
you
my
still
daughter-
gotta be
if-
coaching.
If somebody called if a Division I coach calls you right now about a kid off the team,
You can't tell them
there's
nothing.
you can.
I can send film. I can.
Yeah, see.
I mean, that's.
You can't be like, well, I know she gonna give you this if you talk to her this way. If you really coach
And
her,
then he's gonna ask you, well, where's
What's her character like?
Where's
What's
her
like?
coach?
is she coachable?
She's gonna ask you about BJ, and so I mean, it puts. I mean, because not even going into the recruiting, they're gonna want to know, well, where's our head coach at?
So if one of the girls become ineligible, how does that stop them from going to another college to play D1?
It doesn't. It's only for this year.
It would be based on an individual grade, right? If they found them, that class grade have to be changed. It wouldn't affect their overall GPA, right? Or their eligibility to go on to someplace else.
But that will keep them from graduating if they're
Well, they can
becoming
make that
eligible
up.
and their grade is changed.
Yeah, that's a fluid situation, so there's X amount of hours they have to pass each semester, so if something gets forfeited from the previous semester, the upcoming semester, there would just have to be an additional,
And y'all pay for that?
I'm sorry.
Do the scholarship pay for that? Or do the parents have to pay for that?
I mean, our scholarships cover books and tuition, so.
How many hours? Up to 18 hours?
18.
Yeah, and
18 hours.
I mean, we have kids all the time who don't pass class, so
Oh,
we
okay.
don't penalize them in regard to their scholarships.
So if this was known for last year, why come y'all didn't say anything? Because my daughter could have went somewhere else.
We didn't know it from last year.
You just said the GPA was 1.7 and red flags came up at the end of this.
It came up in the middle,
Of this fall.
after, into this semester.
Yeah, and just-
But y'all knew it was 1.7 last year.
The previous
didn't.
president and AD and stuff.
Well, if it's gone on this long, then what, a couple of more months wouldn't have mattered.
Well, yeah, it does, because it has implications with potentially forfeiture of games. Because if somebody's ineligible and is playing, then we potentially have to keep forfeiting it, which penalizes the girls who are still eligible. So that's one of the.
So what about your incoming recruits? Have you contacted them to let them know? Because some people done signed here because of BJ. And if he's not going to be the coach, I'm sure they're not going to come.
No one decided.
Lisa in Missouri. I don't know her last name. She signed.
Well, we have, it's just like with Kate, if anybody wants to transfer, we want everyone to want to be here. If they don't want to be here, we've released anybody from their obligation.
Oh, okay.
We have done that.
But the sophomores, it's kind of hard. It's like you going to go sit on the bench because the team's already been set. This is January. They got 3 more months.
No, sophomores can't go to another JUCO. You done.
No, he's saying transfer. I was thinking he's talking about
Yeah,
like
that's
Kate did.
Yeah, see, Kate still has a year.
Yeah, a year and a
But like a
half.
sophomore can't, like the sophomores, they can't go to another school right now.
No.
So what are next steps is my question, because it seems like there's been 2 weeks. It doesn't feel like or seem like much has been done. I understand you have to
But they
continue to
play
be
Monday.
tight-lipped
Yeah.
about things.
Yeah.
So what's
So they gotta
next?
figure
Because
out
the
who's
girls,
ineligible
again,
before
still are
Monday.
like,
No, they mine is already set. They don't care.
No, because she just
Do
said
they
that
know?
they're trying to figure it out. So, because if they play during the games, then those games will be forfeit.
Right.
so they haven't done that over.
So
No, I
they
think
figure
they
out
mine
who's
is-
eligible.
But if it's
Before-
still under
I'm supposed to
investigation,
get a
then
status
they
of
Yeah, they ain't gonna do that.
So
They
They
already.
gonna go back and just forfeit all the games.
So
they
every
played.
game that we
They
don't
will
win,
be.
they're gonna forfeit.
Yeah.
Let them know
They mind is already made up. So regardless of what we say, they've already like put this man out. But just like all the coaches that's been here over the previous years, all of them is not here anymore. They in a whole new group.
So when would the girls know if they're ineligible or not?
I keep going this let down. She said, I'm just like, I'm the delegate.
That's January 22nd, and you will provide them proof.
She don't sound like it to
So
you.
that's
She don't sound
Johnson
like a
County,
Donna to you.
when they play Johnson County.
So that's what I was just
And you'll
asking
provide
about,
them
when they'll
proof.
know, when they'll have information. Monday, she's supposed to get some information, and then reach out to them individually about what they need to know.
Okay. But this Monday.
This Monday,
Monday,
correct?
status of where we're at.
They did this right before all their hardest games about to pop up.
It's conference. This conference.
All
Yeah.
their hardest games about to pop up. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds like a conspiracy to me. Yeah.
So do you know if
They ain't moved up in the
On top of what the
rankings,
coaches
they ain't
did,
nothing.
on top of the coaches did something wrong, right?
Yes, sir.
What you guys have done is triple
It's
that.
worse.
I hope you understand that. It's not nothing I wanna say, but that's what it
I
is.
understand how you feel. I don't.
That's not how I feel, that's what it
I
is,
see
sir.
that- I see that, there were 3 adults who were in charge of a team that knew the rules, that potentially
And
did not
kids have
follow
to
the
suffer
rules.
because of adults on both ends.
I agree. I understand. We're trying to salvage a situation, maintain the academic and institutional integrity of college that has many more students than this small group. There are numerous things at play here. This does not make us happy. We do not feel good doing this. We are as disappointed in this situation as everyone else. I'm extremely
I don't think
disappointed in
so.
our employees.
DJ just pissed us
I don't
off.
think it's the same.
Everything that's happened could have easily been prevented and didn't happen.
Man,
But if he
He
didn't
must
know
been
that he
kissed
was
somebody
doing
butt,
anything wrong,
so-
how do you hold him accountable for that?
He did somebody
If he
wife.
didn't know that he was doing anything wrong and you all never told him that,
Ma'am, I have been in college sports for 25 years. What we are seeing with the data is obvious and intentional.
Okay, and again, I go back. There is not a college in existence that something like this has not happened, that the coaching staff did not remain in place until things were finalized. I don't care what school you go to. I don't care what school you go to. Something like this has happened in every school, and the coaching staff has remained in place until the investigation was finalized. Mizzou just got penalized because of something that happened 4 years ago.
Yes, sir.
4 years ago. And that staff has been there all the time. KU just got punished for something that happened 3 years ago. The coaching staff is still there. So you can't tell me that provisions could not have been made for these coaches to remain in place till the season was over with.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that.
Or until you found out it was real.
You cannot tell me that.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But
It was their
I'm sorry.
decision,
even
because
if
they
I
didn't want
upload
DJ there.
my
Again.
work in your office, so if I upload my work in your office, that doesn't mean that you helped me. That doesn't mean that you did my work. That just means I used your computer.
Which should have never happened.
Wow.
Oh,
You don't use the coach's computer?
You do
Computers
not
all
use
the
a coach's
time.
computer. You do not use a coach's
Is that a rule that's in your handbook?
No, but that's.
Okay, so then you
No.
just.
If it's
no,
not, you
just
just
satisfy.
answer it.
No.
If
You
it's
just
not
made
in,
a
if
statement.
it's not written,
That's right.
it's not, no,
It is in
no.
their contract
You
to
cannot.
understand the NJCAA rules and what that presents when they do something
It's in
like
whose
that.
contract?
It's in
It's
the
not.
coaches' contracts.
And it's
You
not
just said
simply-
there's nothing in black and white that says I can't
So
go
if
sit
I
and do
call
it
Jason-
all day. You just said there's nothing in black and white.
You just said that, sure did. You
That
just
data
said that.
has an imprint of who created that document.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes.
I don't care what computer you
Yes, sir.
uploaded from.
That's true.
The
Everything you're
creation
saying is
is
true.
who created the document.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Done deal.
Absolutely.
That nullifies anything else that you are
Yes,
doing.
it does.
It nullifies it.
So, where we at?
It nullifies
See,
it.
they didn't think nobody knew
Like I said,
anything
I've
about
been-
that.
My degree is in IT. I've worked IT for
Basically Monday.
20+ years. I know everything about
still could've-
Microsoft.
Y'all could have, this
I'm
could
their
have waited
beta
to the end
tester.
of
I
the
know
season and
everything
y'all could have
about
just
Microsoft.
not brought BJ back next year.
But that's just crazy because you all are not looking at the whole picture. And I'm gonna say this out front, you're not looking at the whole picture.
I
The
say
evidence has
everything-
not been
Sir,
justified.
everything you've said is true. We know the same thing.
Okay?
That's exactly, that's what
But
we
their
know.
mind is made up about
And that's
BJ.
so sad. That's so sad.
Their mind is made up
That's so
about BJ.
sad. Because that's a good man who's worked hard to put these young ladies through a course to get them where they are today. And I'm gonna stand behind him.
To make
100%.
your college shine.
Thank
For the
you.
girls program.
I
still-
just don't understand. Okay, why you couldn't keep one of them?
He never did answer that question.
I mean, just why you couldn't keep one of them? Just that. I mean, even if it's to help him to say, Coach, this, I can relate to this kid. This is what this kid is. Just to help him take some pressure off of him. At very minimum, if you're not worried about the girls, to help him, just keep. I mean, we had 3 of them. Did you have to let all 3 of them go?
I'm pretty sure each computer each coach got a login. So whoever computer was homework, whatever it was uploaded on that computer under that person's login, that's the person who need to be investigated, not the whole staff.
Well, she's saying that is what's happening.
But
I
still,
still
they let
just
all
can't-
3 of them go.
Right, I can't understand how the disadvantages outweigh the advantages in this situation of just allowing, like he said, at least one of their coaches to stay in place to minimize the impact to the girls.
Well,
Because this has
They
been
try to erase the
truly
whole
crushing.
system.
I would say
Raise
that
him.
it's not
That's what they're
simply
trying to do.
where
Trying to
information
erase
was
BJ
uploaded from,
That's
it's
why
not
they're
just
raising
IP
both
addresses.
I know that.
Okay,
That's crazy.
it's not just IP addresses, it's not just, and it's not one, it's all. Okay, it's obvious, it's flagrant, it's intentional. There's,
So
I
you're saying the
understand,
coaches are doing their homework?
we're not at liberty to discuss these.
So you saying all? So you saying all 3 coaches?
So you're trying to say the kids are really dumb that they can't do their
No,
own
I don't think
homework?
Well,
that
that
at all.
makes no
I
sense.
don't
Why
think
would
that
they
at all.
have one semester and not all semesters if they were doing their homework?
Thank you.
So the coaches are doing their homework, so the kids don't have any sense or knowledge to do their own homework.
The coaches are doing their homework to
And
get a
I know,
1.7.
I said with my daughter, 20.
You gonna give me to do my homework? I better have a 3.0.
I said, I know, I sat with my daughter over the summer to do her homework. A coach didn't do her homework.
Okay.
So,
I
think
you
this
don't have enough
investigation
knowledge
is
to
bogus.
do that. You don't have enough to do that either. The coach did it and he got a 1.7.
Yeah, coach doing their homework with a 1.7 GPA, that don't even make sense. Yeah.
After you did it and you printed it on your printer, she came here and had to print it and BJ checked it and
Came out.
they got a 1.7.
That's
So
a-
there's nowhere possible one of them coaches can come back.
No.
Wow.
When this is done, we will share this with you
So when will it be done?
as soon as we can.
That ain't gonna be.
So you got
it's already done.
Yeah, they already got their mind made up.
We're waiting on.
That won't come out to the almost the summer. It ain't gonna come out to the summer. Even with Bill Self going through stuff, that the season gonna be
So
over.
have the
It's gonna
NJC
come out after the
And
summer.
I guarantee
Their ruling
you,
came.
majority of these kids are African Americans and they gonna be put back.
And it won't be finished until this summer.
Yeah, to the summer. They don't never do it during the season. It's all gonna be done in the
Finished Until
summer.
this summer or later.
Yeah.
That's when that investigation will be completed.
That's
Will
not
be
been my
until the summer or
experience.
later.
They have given.
I ain't never seen the investigation going during the season and be done in the season. It's normally always in the season or after the
It's
season.
always after the season.
The kids are African American and they gonna be set back. There it is.
Coach, you got your hands full, man. You ready? A lot of these parents want their kids to go to
So,
the next level.
do you realize that if one girl leave, you may lose multiple girls? And that's unfair to him because of your decision.
How'd you get through in the boiling water? You just volunteered? Oh, I'll do it.
Well, they approached me.
Order to keep your job, you said, yeah. I understand.
Yeah,
Or
so
they
he,
offered you more money, I understand that too.
well, he really don't have nothing invested. That's my whole point. Like, if they win or lose, okay, so.
I mean, I've been around the girls and stuff. I mean, better than me than somebody from the outside.
I would agree
Yeah, that
with
is
that.
true.
But I also would still agree that you're just in the worst situation. I mean, I think we all as parents, appreciate you being able to step in so they have someone, because administratively, it seems like they have no one. Because it just doesn't seem like there's the caring and concern that there is said to be about the impact to them. So we do I'm gonna speak for myself and say, I appreciate you willing to step in. Tiana is my daughter.
So are you able to, I don't know, are you able to talk to get any information
From
regarding
me?
the team?
From BJ?
Yes.
I don't know, am I?
They don't want you even talking, BJ, so you out there.
I just stayed away from it so far.
That means-
The girls, last night I had the girls teach me the offense.
Let me say this on your behalf.
So-
It would be totally unfair for you all to not allow him to have access to BJ.
Because that mess up their scholarships.
Just looked at him and said that was fine.
Okay,
I mean.
because that would be a
He
total
dropped his
disjustice
head,
to this
so.
team, you know. It would be a total.
Body
disjustice.
language
If-
tell a lot.
if this, after this season, you know.
They already,
BJ
mine's
was the
made up.
best,
So his
and BJ has
mine's made up.
contacts.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do my best to get them through the season and coach them up as much as I possibly can. And then, you know, if I need to talk to a school or something, you know, BJ would, I'm sure BJ cares about him. I mean, I'm sure he would help me facilitate that.
So BJ is like, he can't help with the scholarship or help get them to a different college. Nothing. Like he's completely, basically his only connection to the girls is through him.
He's great. The BJ never existed here, basically. That's what they trying to wipe the schedule, the games, all that away.
Like the football team. Yeah.
I sure hate it because the girls worked extremely hard this year for them to
They did.
get hit with a boulder.
They did.
I hate that.
Long time coming.
Well, y'all mark my word.
Trying to figure
I hate that.
They are.
Yeah. They switched presidents and that was that spot right there.
out the old way to do it. This is the only way we can get it. It's the only way we can do it. Let's find something. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
How will we be notified as the next steps are completed?
Probably an email from your kids. Forwarding instead of addressing the parents like I didn't pay something.
That was a wrong move.
Yeah.
That was a wrong
There are
move.
HIPAA implications when a student is over FERPA, excuse me, there are
I'm
FERPA
scared
implications.
to say, because I'm in healthcare, has nothing to do with HIPAA.
Yes,
Yeah, because I was gonna say that don't have nothing to do with HIPAA.
yeah, I apologize for misstating the acronym. But there are implications for who we can contact when someone's over 18 years old. So unfortunately, we can't, even with GPAs, we can't call a parent and say, hey, look how well your kid did. The student has to inform the parent.
So at Teach 2, there was no information in there that the parents couldn't have heard in that email. You didn't put out any GPAs or student names, like you said. So there wouldn't have been a reason that the parents couldn't have got that message at the same time.
As the students here, we ask them to be responsible for handling their information and their business to inform the parents.
So if, let's just, for example, if something had been uploaded of Kate's, what's gonna happen to her since she left? Nothing, because she left, it's just the ones that stayed.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing happens to Kate.
Not necessarily.
Well, she can't play this year anyway, so basically it's going next year.
If she played in any games, potentially they would be forfeited.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole
Every
season.
game is gonna be forfeited,
That we
depending
have
on their
Yeah.
decision.
No, we don't know that. We don't know if every game's gonna be forfeited. That will, if we have kids who are ineligible, it's our job to stop them right now if they're potentially ineligible from affecting the rest of the season and the other girls. That's our job. The NJCAA will tell us if they believe that what happened was flagrant enough to warrant the forfeiture.
So what if they come back and say this is not flagrant enough for any penalties?
BJ still gone.
I
Because they want him
mean,
gone.
we still have our.
Yeah, BJ, they don't want BJ.
We still have.
I was glad if he
But I
found
mean,
innocent.
if
How is
they
that?
don't have any
How do you
issue,
justify that? If he's found innocent, how do you?
They don't want BJ.
If he is found
Because
innocent,
again, that was.
how can you still justify he's guilty
That
then?
wasn't directed.
He don't want to comply with what they want him to do, basically. So this is the way to get him out.
Yeah, they don't want BJ here, period. So.
They don't want to win here. That's what they're saying. 12-0, that's big.
No, they want him gone. You know, when new people come in, they want to bring their
Yeah,
people
well, I
in.
say, it was the new-
That is true.
He's been here for years, so guess what?
And turn this school around.
We want to go in a different direction, and the only way we can go in a different
Get the old
direction,
people out.
and this is the way you do it.
On the backs of the kids.
This type of
Not
stuff,
the way you
this
do
type
it.
of, no, I'm saying, this is the type of stuff you see in a movie.
But
So how can we meet with the board?
board?
How can we meet with the board?
good question.
With y'all the six that made the decision.
Can you set that up and
They're not going to.
Meet with us, right?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. There's certain things that they can and can't discuss in an open meeting.
Okay.
They can't talk about BJ or
Okay,
personnel.
but can we
I'm just
still meet with them?
Yes, they have a 3-minute public comment time frame.
They talk for 3 minutes.
1.7, that's 3
Which
minutes.
each individual gets 3 minutes if they wish to make public comments.
So when can we
This is
meet with
not
them, or how can we
trust me.
talk to them, or, you know, just about our concerns?
I can provide you with an email address or
Oh, you can't talk to them
if you,
personally.
well, that's up to them, whether they talk to you personally.
Like it was up to you all to say y'all want BJ gone and
Okay, so can you provide me with that information, or provide all of us with that information today? Or when would you provide it?
I can get it to you on Monday. I'm gonna have to find the exact statements of what their policy is on public comment.
People, kids
Oh,
here is
the
also
email is-
most of the people
you
here are
can
kids.
provide.
Because the
emails
freshmen
that
ain't coming
they
back
want
next
to get
year.
an email address?
You know the freshmen ain't coming back next year. Not after this, no. Because I would, if this happened in my daughter's freshman year, she wouldn't come back.
So most of the parents here, kids are sophomore.
Mine's a sophomore.
With an email,
There's a sophomore.
that's one thing they can provide is an email address.
Yeah. So the freshmen, they not coming back next year. They gotta, whoever get it next year gonna have to start from zero. Because they can be like, oh, BJ ain't there? Oh, sorry.
The word of mouth travels.
Yeah. Everybody want to come here for BJ. BJ ain't here. Good luck getting scraps.
And you know, this, y'all kids they ain't gonna get nothing.
I don't claim that. I don't. She's
No,
not-
I'm saying from
here,
them,
no, I
from
agree with
them.
that.
No,
I
I'm
agree
not
with
saying,
that. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm
yeah, no, but I'm not
hopeful
talking
the
about,
new coach, but, oh,
Right.
yeah, like I was like, yeah, I got you. It's unfortunate. Most unfortunate.
this team is mostly African American. And look what's happening to them.
Cause I don't see, if this is the case, BJ ain't did this.
That
this
other
time.
team that left here,
Long as
what
he
happened
been
to
here.
them?
BJ been here for how many years?
No.
And this is the first year that he done did this.
Exactly. I mean, I'm pretty
Majority
sure.
of this team is
Nine.
African American.
Under a new
BJ cared
president.
about them, And they was.
And then this
on their
happened.
way.
But like you said, they just got here, and this new president just got here. So when people come in, that's just like in the corporate world. When people come in, new corporate people come in, they want to do things the way they want to do things. They want to change the way. They want to we bring our own people.
They clean
We want
house.
to clean house, but we got to figure out a way how to do this and make sure it stick.
Right.
And this is the way they do it to make sure it sticks.
And then they bring the kids in order to.
But like I said,
to
I'm
bring
pretty
them
sure
in.
if it happened this semester at BJ Mayer, how many years?
No.
Why now? You know what I'm saying? Why now after this new president come in? And all this stuff just pop up all of a
So
sudden.
unfortunate.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
is
Why now? You know, and that's what I'm saying. He been
Because
this
even
long.
if the girls felt like they did a good job, they're now their mind is racing. Was it me? Did I do anything? You guys they are messed up mentally.
Emotionally as well.
Mentally.
Tell them to go out there.
That's
And
it.
then
They have a lot of
if half of their team cannot play Monday or the 22nd, the mother girls
Makes
gonna
it
go
worse.
out there and say, well, hey, why should I give all I got? Such and such is not here.
No, I'm just gonna get mine.
So they're gonna use the coach.
So no team chemistry
No.
Court.
Whatever.
at all.
So
I'm just gonna get
the
mine.
team is not gonna play.
How would you feel if, same thing?
That's gonna be the biggest problem. Everybody gonna say, I'm getting mine. I gotta get a scholarship.
Yep.
That the games would be forfeited.
I don't know if they made that connection or not.
So your decision,
Well, I hope not.
And we don't know if they're
Because you
gonna,
won't
we
get
don't know
anything
if they
out
will
of
have to
them.
forfeit.
Because they have so little information. I don't understand why things haven't been expedited.
My thing is, this is a junior college, and it's a D2 junior college. That they don't, that is not top priority
the
For
coaches,
them.
whoever, then I don't understand why that information hasn't been before.
No, it's them. They said it was their decision.
That can be washed out.
It's way.
They gonna let them go.
They don't put that stuff all up in junior
That
high.
just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
I don't understand, it just seems like it's being dragged out, why?
They've been killing Division
Until
One teams.
further investigation can be completed.
I get
Yeah, that's why I said it's not the NJ. I don't think it's him.
It's them.
Yeah.
It's them.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
ain't the NJ, it's them.
Of waiting and they're, when.
Like he said, they bringing it
It
in.
just seems like
Decision
nothing.
is to penalize the girls.
It's gonna be there. NJC's not gonna do nothing.
Hey, I will do my best to make them
The IT
as
side.
good as I possibly can.
But it sounds like
We're
she said
supposed to
it's the
practice
third
at
time that
11:30,
you're
so
waiting.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna sneak out of here.
Well, good
Other
luck,
girls.
but if they can't, if the rest of the girls can't play,
We don't know
If
that.
we got
We
five,
don't know that.
we'll play as hard as we can, all right?
So if you all don't hear anything from the NCJAA, is that the correct thing? Then, whose decision is it to penalize the girls?
Once they go through an academic dishonesty hearing, we're done. We'll explain to them what we know at that point from the NJCLA, but we don't penalize
Right,
them
so
any
if you don't
further.
hear back from them in a timely manner, what decision would you take towards the girls?
We're simply trying to determine to make sure everyone's eligible.
Yeah.
That's our biggest concern. That's our big concern right now. As far as,
So your whole team, you saying, could basically be ineligible?
no, we're not saying that.
I hope not, but.
so you already know who you all looking at.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course
Right.
they do.
No doubt.
Even Johnson County knows.
I don't understand.
It's already out there.
Yeah, it is.
It's
I mean,
already
it's
out
sad
there.
that we receive text messages from parents at
Yeah.
other colleges.
It's already out
I
there.
done got inboxed
Or
on Twitter.
people saying that they talk to you
Yep.
and you say certain things, but you don't tell everyone.
It's already out there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they said, they have said, a lot of people that got texts that you have told a lot of people. Hey, I come and-
Send that to the NJCAA.
Yeah, before us. That's crazy.
Your name is out there a lot.
It's fine.
That's very, very.
So the first contact that we can expect, or the first follow-up is Monday,
Yes.
and you'll do that how?
I would need your emails to start with. Are they on your students?
I'll send around a sheet
Okay.
that everybody can put it down.
So there is nobody at JACC or whatever you can talk to either, huh?
Again, that won't be done until this summer.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen right now.
It's not them. Yeah.
It's the students. It ain't. Because the NJCC, like you said, they don't suspend you for the season.
So
Oh,
You
it's
keep
just-
your job.
It's them two.
And then once the season is over, they fire you.